Good evening, listeners. Welcome to our fourth news review in 2021, Gambia Daily. I'm your host, Rohi Konetige, live from Manchester, the United Kingdom. Happy New Year to you all from the Mamos team. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to Gambia Today News Review. Listeners, you're tuned into Mamos Radio on Mamos Media. It is Wednesday, 6th of January 2020. I am Nene with a review of Gambia's national top headlines coming to you live from Oslo, Norway. Tostan launches national seminar on human rights and democracy. 30-year-old deportee allegedly kills father. 2 arrested with more than 100,000 fake banknotes. Remy Joyner's IEC appointment rescinded. Barrow, UDP did not even have a bicycle before I took office. And escaped murder suspect rearrested in Senegal. Listeners, let's review the headline news in detail. Tostan launches national seminar on human rights and democracy. Tostan, a regional non-governmental organization, on Tuesday launched a 2-day national sharing seminar to discuss such issues as human rights and democracy, amongst others, at the Baobab Hotel in Kololi. In his opening remarks, Idrissa Keita, the national coordinator, said currently Tostan works in 203 communities in the Upper River region, predominantly among the main ethnic groups in the region. Quote, over the years, we work closely with all partners and sectors across the region, tackling things at a decentralized level where we engage the chiefs, village heads, village development committees, ward councillors, women councillors, National Assembly members, and all other partners. And this year we're working with them to have their feedback, amongst others, unquote, he remarked. 30-year-old deportee allegedly kills father. A 60-year-old man, Ansumana Konjira of Brikama Daru Kaira, was on Saturday allegedly killed by his 30-year-old son, police sources say. According to the public relations officer of the Gambia Police Force, Superintendent Lamin Jai, Malang Konjira, deportee from Germany, has been detained and accused of causing the death of his own father, Ansumana Konjira. Piero Njai said Malang had recently been acting in a violent manner and that while his father was trying to cool him down, he, Malang, hit him with a wooden bench and also threw a cement block at him, which hit him on the head. He said the father was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. He adds that the accused is currently in custody, helping the police in their investigations. 2 arrested with more than 100,000 fake banknotes. Police have arrested 2 suspects within the Greater Banjul area with suspected fake currency amounting to $116,000, the Point has learnt. The suspects, Buba Nyangara, a Senegalese national, and Amadou Diallo, a Gambian national, are currently detained by police as investigation into the matter deepens. Police sources say the duo have been charged with being in possession with fake money and are expected to appear in court soon. At the time of going to press, the police couldn't establish where the suspect got those fake currencies. Lamin Jai, the spokesperson of the Gambia Police Force, who confirmed the development to the Point, said currently there are more than 40,000 that is believed to be in circulation in the market and is yet to be retrieved by the police. Remy Joyner's IEC appointment rescinded. The appointment of Orema Joyner, also called Remy, as a respected retired banker as vice chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, has been rescinded. He was appointed to replace Mala Sala, who retired last year. Mr. Joyner, a former deputy managing director of Trust Bank, initially confirmed to the Standard that he had got his letter of appointment, but was yet to be sworn in. However, last night, Mr. Joyner confirmed to the Standard that the government has decided to rescind his appointment. He gave no further detail. However, Mr. Joyner's appointment raised controversy among political actors and observers who objected to it, arguing that it was in violation of the IEC Act because Mr. Joyner is a co-opted member of a political party, in this case, the NPP Banjul Regional Committee. Barrow, UDP did not even have a bicycle before I took power. In a rare swipe at his former and native political party, President Barrow has said that the UDP is ungrateful to him, despite all the unprecedented good he brought to the party, which never happened in their history before his presidency. Speaking at a meeting in Bundu Monday, Barrow said a lot of people insulting him from the UDP were non-existent during Jammeh's regime. Quote, I have been a foot soldier in the party from 1996, but I never saw any of these people insulting today, and they were never present when we were visiting Usainu Dabo in prison, speaking and doing politics under strict security surveillance, unquote, Barrow said. Escaped murder suspect rearrested in Senegal. Buba Dramé, who escaped from the remand at the Mile 2 prisons, has been rearrested by Interpol in Senegal. Dramé is standing trial for the murder of one Buba Jammeh during the Berending Gunjur land dispute. According to Deputy Prisons Boss Luke Jatta, they have been officially notified of the rearrest of Dramé. Quote, so this is what we have gathered so far, and we are waiting on the Interpol for any possible repatriation of Dramé. We understand Dramé, was trying to make a phone call back to the country when he came in contact with the Interpol officials who arrested him, unquote, Jatta told The Standard. Listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Nene, for today's news review. Listeners, you live on Mamos Radio. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Stories making headlines on the front pages of the lockdown expected to last until mid-February. The Daily Star imagines Boris Johnson dressed as little vaccines give hope as he announced a new lockdown in England, the Daily Express reports. The new coronavirus restrictions in England are the most draconian since the spring lockdown, the Daily Mail reports. The Times says Boris Johnson has reimposed national restrictions in England in a desperate attempt to prevent the NHS from being overwhelmed. The Sun says 13 million people are predicted to get a coronavirus vaccine by the middle of February. The Eye says a new national lockdown in England comes as Britain's health emergency worsens. The Guardian says Boris Johnson has ordered another national lockdown in England just a day after urging millions of pupils to return to classrooms. With vaccines being administered, Boris Johnson has said we are in the last phase of the struggle against coronavirus, the Daily Telegraph reports. Metro says schools in England will be closed until mid-February as the country enters another national lockdown. The Prime Minister made a sharp switch in position when he ordered another national lockdown in England, the Financial Times reports. Thank you, listeners. That was the UK national newspaper's headlines. Please stay tuned after the break. We will take a close look at the front pages of the Eye and the Daily Mail. Thank you. Welcome back, listeners. Let's take a close look at the front pages of the Eye newspaper and the Daily Mail. Both papers feature a grim-looking Boris Johnson pictured as he addressed the nation yesterday evening. The Eye newspaper headlined, Lockdown 3, the worst sequel yet. The paper reports that shielding has been reintroduced as Mr. Johnson bows to scientific advisors, and the Prime Minister believes that by mid-February, if things go well, all care home residents, carers, over 70s, frontline medics, social care workers, and clinically vulnerable people should be vaccinated. The paper's Oliver Duff claims that COVID-19 thrives on indecision. He thinks teachers, students, and parents are justified in feeling angry about what he says Mr. Johnson's amateurish decision to urge pupils to return to schools across the country only to close them hours later. Read more on page 6. The Daily Mail leads with, It's back to square one after news of the latest lockdown. It describes the new measures as the most draconian since the spring lockdown. Also, under the new rules, end-of-year exams will not take place as normal, and outside sports venues must close. Amateur team sports are also not allowed. Turn to page 2 for more details on that report. Thank you, listeners. That was the UK's national newspapers front pages review with me, Sainab Jaiba. Stay tuned to Mamos Radio for the rest of our news program. Have a good evening. Good night.
On Mamos Radio, please stay tuned for the rest of tonight's news review. We'll be back with the Mandinka news with Lamin Maro.
Assalamu alaikum badingol mbal konton na tolo nal konton di mala annal badema Lamin Maro ndol kay kiyam man sam felen dunta albayla mo kam mamul haradi bu mballa kondalta ke barama futundale wato wati bin kanalo ke bajanin ko ke fonsina mulu nin ka fubalu tentu mini alon ko kan segmentu ya wato bela wol kono tridi kam na ka fuba mba fale ala barka bake alla doku kendo mengal bake kan pour ka harmado la nyanto fasa dunia kono anin nene on Mamos mi foundation o membe Gambia ni wato lube doku ke kan enin doku lalo nin ka fubalu fane blodi nyola men keda mamdi siseti anin ka fut ko tan lu mini alon ko be mulu de ma kan santolu to anin ka jiben e bela balwoni e basonen de la nyamen anina Mamos la doku lal membe Gambia bantala bebe tentula be doku kendo nyimmen na ba fure ala baraka ba ke simen keto ma kibaro ko folo di alla janin kadun kibaro nyi fango kono tostan in kata kafulete me alon ko lo rodron pour ko harma dum fasa kala nyanto fasa ni watulu e ko e kafu bale ke ware bembal kumandi me alon ko yake bawo bala hotelo nyinto pour ka mulu karandi tilfula wol kono pour ka kanandi la nyantolu nyanta ka fasa nyamen e mbo kibaro dilalla anin iko fondin ke min shebe sanje tan saba iko ni watolo ya fuko atle ya fama fa men keta ansumana konjira ya me alon ko abota brikama daru hairu in saturday tambila iko ya tele tumi ko a fama fa me alon ko polisol diamula wala nyim banke Mamos media wala yin kibaro nyim fanan safe iko in tembol fanan ya mofula ya men muta ko do mute blatata ko gambe ko do wuli keme me alon ko gambe ko do le manke ko di barka mati e ko poliso le nyim fo e ko ye mol me alon ko yetu mi ye mutabanyunu tundo nyinna e ko nyu wato le ko do mute bulata da fo game ko do wuli keme wuli tan ani woro and yan kibaro nyi yadi point la newspaper la rime joina me alon ko ya teleton bon sayin prime say monoto me alon ko we fonyole men keda IECT ala nyaton ko normalon ko ya tleke ko bari ya tolo menna ye kayto nyin ora ya amba baile e ko nyin me alon ko orumi joina jamaka fa rimi e ko mole me alon ko farmansa tabake ni nata na fulola fanala an tleketa nyaton ko normalon ko ti me alon ko aketa bankti ani lafta telefonan tala ka tombon ka ke IEC nyaton ko normalan koti bari ikoya baile e ko nyin e lanyin toloro nyin e ka sayta men noto wala nyanda kekere male sala me alon ko o mari retire telonu serun ko Mr. Joina dum anana ketanu bank deputy manager to men keta trust bank ti anu eko aya fanangin serial ko ka fo ya tombong pura ke IEC normalan koti eko kula me ala ka soto la anyu fo standard la newspaper e akubari ya electro news soto ko ya telo tombong bari manna atolo folo ware ma kalende folo jana ka palaso nyinta ani ko baro fanan ako UDP birang at beje ko hanu cyclo e mo sotono e fanwe ako nyinketa kute me ya lonko ate bota party mento me ya lonko membe sata ka wala mo president Adam Baroti ako ibuka wasa at moment na ntebela party kono nga makuro me ka de nga kukendo membe samanan ka fo nyin kono nyimu kute me ya lonko anamanan trakeru nun to moment na mbe opposition yala ya jamme koto mbo kibaro mfana futandal no kibar bunda me o sefo standard la newspaper lati iko fonninke men fanan kanata kabo prisino kono iko ya muta Senegal le men keda Buba Dramati iko akanata mile to prison ninto anun ya muta la kotake polisolu kullo polisol men be dunia kono iko le ya muta Senegal anu mata Drame ika ya tumi ka e molefa anu kite nyin abola batun kan anana kanata iko nyin faro nyin keda tumo menna branding nin gunjur la o keneku sonko nyin wato la nyin keda standard le fane nyin safe mbadu mo ngene mo kibaru ko ngoten sudun kibaru nyin fango kono iko to stand iko nyi watolu ye kafu bembalo kumandi men kera national seminar men kera hanamadu la nyanto ti pour ka fasa nyamen iko nyi kafu ba men kera NGO ti nyi tenata tambila iko e tilifula bembale ke mi yalon ko e kachalu ke nena hanamadu la nyanto la anun pour ke edema nu kuko dol me yalon ko abela balo nyi sonandile iko yake bawba hotel membe da ko lulu ma fa nyinna iko meeting on kun biriba kun be meeting on kono men kara Idrissa Ketati atemo national coordinator de ko benyin tembo mento nin kafulu mene do ko tata fo keme fula anin saba me ya lon ko nyun bebe Upper River regional nyinato andu nin sielu waran siel membe bo tondola ni bele bloodi nyola kadu ko ke ani ko meta in ke kan sanji jama andu ye kafulu nin molu soto me ya lon ko ni be bloodi nyola pour kajibe molla bata muto ma fon le kajibe bolde malo nyamen e ko bring alkalulu sefulu sate kebalu molu anin musu kafulu foninke kafulu anin katana nasli député bumbalu yin be mu kaflete me yalon ko ni meta do ko la andi ni watulu ni wala la nyokuma ne ko de kasika kacha polisi la mirolu fo bidinde do ko dati e to lemuna nafaje e ni la buludu nyola la e lafta pour ka wala fana long kibar bu na men safe wala mu Mamos la mediate ko nyi wadul fanan ko men siyobe momen me yalon ko asiyobe sanjita saba ko ya tumi ko ya fama fa me yalon ko siyobe sanjita woro ka fa ansumana konjira me yalon ko ya fa brikama daru hayru ko nyi keta sibidi tambilalen nyi men siyobe sanjita saba adimma ko police la kachala wala nyi banke ko bare kajaro nyi men waran kibaro nyi me ya futa me yalon ko police la PROT me yalon ko atlebe ning mulu jokinyolo tema ko me ankara supetana lamin jay ako malang kijera me alonko ya sendilon kabonan Germany ko ya mutala nyin tembola bebulu andun ibe kuni kisikis kan ko ya joko atele sunta afamala saya la menketa ansumana konjirati ade piaro njay ako malang mole me ya lonko abe manyal menke kan fitna ko abola to nyin watul kono anu fama menketa ansumana konjirati wo yakatale purka atenkunde waran purka ajuso nyabu purka sabarende o watula na siran yirota aya abusala kungoto anu na dafanan ka blokota ka bu menata ma kungoto ko famani ya borndi ka futande loptano nyinto para la futa ko lale nataje ko amin jenyi ndo atale ako nyi yeme yalon ko ya tumi kabe polisol bulle anabi mako kan be kisikisiro nyi menna kibar bona men safe wala mo Mamos la mediate ikoy mo fulo men fana mota nyin tembo la banjunu ma fangol la ikoy mota en kodombe mo yalan ko kodi tapele la ngata dafu Gambia ko do wuli keme kayto ko police ol yenyi mol men muta ye tumi ye muta banyunu tundo ma fa wala annun ye kodo men nan ko mo tebla tada fo wulike ma wulutan ani woro yenyi banke point la newspaper ko nyi mol me yalon ko ye tumi men keda buba nyaranga muba nyangara me yalon ko senegalais le mateti ani Modou Diallo to mo Gambia no leti ko nyin tembolo be police ol bulle ani be ko nyin ibaki sikis kanne ko police ol men be banke kan ko nyi men muta ya kodome mute bulu a hapo siatale andun yaje ko ibe kitindla le me yalon ko atamela iko barebe tembo nyimento polisolu ko imang kujama fono la nyin tembo nyinto barate lamin jay me alon ko atlemu polisol la kacalati ay nyim banke ako ngalon ko kujama be kisikisi kambe in tembo nyimento anu ngalon ne fanan ko do me alon ko ya dundi sain abe mulubulu taring me alon ko tada Gambia ko fo wulitan nan me alon ko hani o kodo tapale men dundi mulba jule yakan hani sai bulo man lawo kan follow point la newspaper wala nyin safe remi joina e laftate lutombo na kake IEC nyaton ko nomalan koti ko bari ya bayle e ko nyimme ya lon ko ya tombon men kera o rimi joina jamaka fa rimi anu ko mole me ya lon ko hormo soro ni nata bank la ma fangina atleke da vice ila nyaton ko nyintunu me ya lon ko lafta pura kenu vice chairman memu IEC de pura ko nomalan ko nyinto ko bari ya bayle e ko nyin alafta sala men noto wala mu mala sal male sala me ya lon ko ate yefonyole serun anu joina atleketa deputy manager tun me ya lon ko trust bank anu ya fanan ayin ko nyin sedia standard ka fo ko aya kumandile letro nyin diala ko ya tel tombon pour ka ke IEC normalan ko di bari ma kalinde folo ko bar wo nyaaw nyang joina e ko ayin mem banque standard ni ye bari go masakunda nata feroke anu ya fo fanan ko ye palaso mi lafta ka diala ya bayle anu man wat fa ka fo ko mun atinna anu wat jumalen ibe fem volaye ikboro nyang men na tombondro pour ka ke nyi IEC normalan koti ay diamo siandi ka foluto sako political ka foluto me ya lon ko bela wosi dani yitande ka fo kanyin tombon ka ke IEC normalan koti ay IEC luwalu men lota pour ka kanda ay wol fanglu tinyale e ko kantum rejo nyin Mr rejo na nyin mole me ya lon ko a hamu warang alota be political party lota dabe parti loto so ko parti me alon ko ka fa NPP me alon ko atlekata president barola parti nyinto me alon ko nyu banjul tundo nyu mafon la dabe woloto ke barbuna men sa fa wala mu standard la newspaper de ate president Adama Barrow ako hani bicycle e molo sotono biring tumo mena ate be UDP ako nyinkera kumati me alon ko mulka atumi menkera de president Barroti kafo amankulu kanyama warang amawasa biring abe UDP anatamuru ka fansum party lo warana rake presidenti ako itulman jama kanyim fo tulmalon ko nyimbe nyamen anentela watoje fente bulume alon ko isa hani bicycle tumo mena tataraje fokana bla mbe enkete president abe meeting nyin ke kan bundung nyin tenen tambila at Barrow president Barrow aynin fo akomulu me ya lon ko e kanen wolbe UDP akolbe atbeje tumo menna anu itulbaka wato menna atmalon wolbe nyamen because wato wol mantra UDP e ko to lebata menke UDP to lamu UDP la kala laluti bring to momena lota 1996 sawnyun kono akoni monme ya lonko e kannen bi wolu mantra UDP la party nyin kono akoni to momene to bentenen na to mantra je to momene kata honorable Usenu Dabo e kata jiben prison wato menna akumbenyu foka wato menna ntebeyin keka wato mena wato lu kol kolata bakele ye ngatamu melle kam batamel late kanu nina da polisol ning amiele menke kanu o wato o kolata num bake ata baro continenta nyinfo akibar bana men safa wala mu standard la newspaper de iko mumen fanan kanada ko ya afkanata ya muta Senegal ya tumi ko ay mufa bari ya muta Senegal nyin tembola at menke da buba dramati iko akanata mile to prison nyinto andung ya muta Senegal police le kaf mede Interpol wala ya muta Senegal at drame iko abelora ya mutale pour ka kitinde ko ay mumen fa menke da buba jamati bring branding gunjur law kenaku sonko nyin o wato len ay nyim fa andu ya muta nyanda ka kitinde wala bari ko in banke menketa the deputy prisoner boss menketa Luka Jatati ako nga kulu sotole anu nga alonne ko sign menketa dramati ya mutale be tembo mendo ako sign nga kulu men kafunyoma mbayin tembo nyimmento Interpol walalia amuta pruka anu ba ferol belande kan on ferol be nyini kan kaje iba sambla nan ate drame ka ba sambla nan game nyame ako ngalone fanan ate drame aya katol kelele pruka telephone kolo kenan Gambia banko nyin kan pruka la mulu contact wato len Interpol la police ol nyini ya muta anu ngati jata ay nyim banke standard la newspaper le badu jine mu kibaro de mu frata me temena ka futa dalma na be tata ko man solo no ninga ma fukun sawdal salo na harmadi na so damalamu annal badi ma lamin maron dol kay kiyam man samba fulan ne bara fanyata ndo
Thank you, listeners. That was the end of tonight's news review from the Mamos team. To my co-host Nene Suleiman Dabo, Sapa Asanbajan, and CEO Lamin Marong. I'm your host Rohi Konetigay. To technician Lennox Asan and Mr. Bori Dabo, our country director and marketing manager in the Gambia. To our Mamos news editor Lamin Sanyang, and to Mamos news reporters Mohamed El Bojang and Usman A. Marong on today's news review. On that note, we say good night. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. GMT. Till then, good night.